something to make you look around and say, hey, you know what? I live in a pretty great country. President Trump is calm, on point, on his game. And unlike the last guy, he is competent and coherent.
Come on, man.
We're not bending the knee anymore. We're here to take a stand for God and country.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.
And good morning. Welcome to a special edition of the Steve Gruber Show. Post-holiday, post-voice is a little laryngitis. But look, for those of you that are on Ivy Watch, you get Ivy all day, right? Good morning.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
It's been quite a year.
It sure has.
Been quite a year. So, a little different show here today, just as we're recovering. I caught whatever this is. And so we're going to get into Free Speech, Free for All Friday. We're going to go through a whole bunch of things that have happened for the last year, good and bad, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. And you can interact with us any way you want. You can send us text messages. You can send us direct messages at stevegruber.com. Send us emails. Talk all about it.
Or you can call in.
We've got the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline set up, 877-310-9966. My voice is suffering.
It's kind of nice. It's like that Barry White voice.
Excuse me. Yeah. That's the way it is. It's going on. And the strange thing is, that's all that's wrong with me. I got a little problem with the voice. That's it.
That's it. That's your only symptom.
Your voice is great.
My voice is good.
If I want you
you've not infected me successfully yet.
Why don't you go ahead and do the whole show?
You might have gotten everyone else sick, but not me.
Yeah, Anthony's sick. I'm sick. Daughter's sick. So far,
niece is sick.
Yeah, everybody's knocked out. It's going around. It's the way it is.
It's cold and flu season, as they say. So at least you don't feel like you have the flu. That's a plus. But anyhow,
you want to grab a couple phone calls?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. All right. So the Common Sense Hotline from Patriot Mobile 877-310-9966. If the callers are talking, I'm talking less, which is a bonus, right? There you go. What do we got? Joseph from Columbus, Ohio. Welcome to Free Speech, Free for All Friday.
Yes, I was watching the banner on the previous program. I said something about Pentagon report Chinese military buildup and shift in nuclear policy threatens U.S. homeland. I'd like to know if you have any information on that and elaborate on how close to war we really are.
Well, we've talked about this a lot. Thanks for the phone call. Greatly appreciate it. Look, China's been at war with us for
a silent war,
and an asymmetrical war since 1949, if you want to know the truth. That's a fact. China's our number one adversary. Donald Trump recognizes that. He plays the cards well. That's why he's building up the military. That's why we're doing these things, Joseph. It's why we're fighting back on every level. It's why we're getting rid of all these imports from China. We're taking over the production of our microchips. We're digging for rare earth elements in Alaska and elsewhere, right?
Absolutely. And there are also a lot of states are banning Chinese purchase of farmland.
That's right.
And you should probably inform some people that may not know, here at the University of Michigan, there were some students who were Chinese nationals, correct?
Busted.
Who brought in a fungus that had potentially wiped out corn and wheat.
And beans and rice.
And they were arrested, and they've either been sent home or they have been indicted, correct?
That's correct.
So, there was always this push by China to infiltrate, especially in other countries, ones that are poor. They go in, they'll put in a lot of infrastructure, and like Brazil, where else?
Costa Rica. What they'll do is they're going to build roads and bridges and infrastructure.
Africa, if memory serves.
All over the place.
And the other thing, too, is like textiles in Italy. One of the reasons that Italy was so infected during COVID was because there's a lot of textile plants, and they'd fly back and forth to go home and visit and then go back to work.
Bam, bam, bam.
And so really, if you dive deep into what China's doing, they are spreading their little tentacles out all over the world. And
the Silk and Road Initiative is everywhere.
Correct.
And they buy influence. They buy access. Absolutely true.
They do.
Absolutely true. Let's see.
And you would think that they would actually bring in jobs, but it ends up that they fly in their own people to work at the factories and not actually have
That's exactly
the
right.
local people do the work. So anyhow, the infrastructure.
Let's see here. We got Veronica in Missouri. Veronica, hoping your voice is better than mine. How are you today?
Good morning. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you. We did.
Bongino is not allowed to leave yet because he hasn't told us whose cocaine that was in the White House several years ago. That was one of his things that he wanted to look for. And again, go Buckeyes.
What? Whoa. There it is. All right, Veronica, I got to give you that. Look, if the Big Ten wins the title again, the SEC is out.
You got to root for the Big Ten, even though, I know it's like
Well-
Ohio State's an arch enemy of yours because you're a Michigan fan, but, hey, root for the home team.
Your parents' team's in.
Yeah, University of Miami, they're huge fans.
They barely
They're
won.
fanatics.
But they won. They barely won, but they won.
Yeah.
Yeah. So college football playoffs. What do you think of the setup? I don't like it. James Madison comes in, gets greased, and just looked embarrassing.
Well, what was it? Alabama? Actually, you and I were watching the game, and they got a lot of flack for getting in, but then it seemed
Then
like
they win.
they really were supposed to be there. So
Yeah, they showed off their talent, that's for sure. All right, Veronica, I can live with your little comment about the Buckeyes. All right. Steve in West Virginia, how are you today?
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Ivy.
Good morning.
I'm sorry you're sick. Yeah, Ivy keeps distance.
it's nearly impossible, but yeah, thank you.
I had kind of a question after yesterday's biggest birthday of all time
Yep.
of our Lord Jesus. These timekeepers, they've got it listed as 2025 A.D. I just wanted to know when would they document that Jesus Christ lived? If one's B.C. and one's A.D., there has to be something in between.
Well, no,
And I didn't
AD
know if
is
you'd know the answer.
AD is upon birth. I don't have the Latin term memorized, but it's his birth is when the clock starts.
Is it?
I believe so. It doesn't. People think it means after death. It does not. It's a mistake, and so therefore, and you guys can correct me. Send me a note. Call us up.
We're not historians in this area.
But we're reading a lot. I got a brand new Bible for Christmas. It's one of the nicest things I got from my wife. Right? A study Bible, so we can.
Well, it's really neat. It's actually an application Bible, so there's a lot of maps. So as you go through and reading the Bible, you can actually be able to see what the context of where the locations are, and gives you a lot of different notes. And so that's very helpful.
It is helpful. Here's the time of King Herod.
Yeah.
Here's the time of King Saul. Here's the time,
Correct.
and when they were in different places. So it's a really fabulous Bible.
And the geography and all of
And
that.
so Ivy and I have been working for a while now on every night we read a portion. And we start with the New Testament. We're working our way through the New Testament. It's a great way to go. And it's a way for us to study the Word. And so in 2026, one of our goals, and I don't know what your goals are out there, one of our goals is to have a better handle on the Word. And so therefore the study Bible is what we're working on. And Ivy got me that as a gift, and I truly appreciate it. So we're going to take a quick break here. What'd you find?
And it's Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord. AD comes from that Latin phrase.
There.
So AD 33, the traditional year of Jesus' crucifixion. Before Christ, BC, Anno Domini,
And later
years
it'll be-
after Jesus' birth.
Right.
It says they predict Jesus was born around 4 to 6 BC.
It's possible,
Hard to
exact
say
dates.
exactly.
Anyhow, we're going to take a break. It is a free-for-all Friday on the Steve Gruber Show with Ivy and I. We'll be right back. AI. All right, I'm going to have an extended version, by the way, of Free for All Friday today. We're on 2 hours here on Real America's Voice as we do this special, Ivy and I. And so we're going to throw in some year in review stuff. And I want to start with this because a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they told us the border could not be closed. We had to have immigration reform, nothing they could do about it, right? Mm-hmm. We knew better.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we actually realized that during Trump's first presidency. He closed the border successfully, so why anyone would believed otherwise?
Right. So here's my year in review. Tom Homan summing up the border situation today. Listen.
Unprecedented. Nothing like this in the history of the country. Look, we got the most secure border in the history of this nation. The most secure ever. And that's based on real data. I just came back. I just did a border review in San Diego, Texas, and Arizona. I toured the border by air, by boat, and by four-wheel drive. 3 days on the southern border, Maria. I didn't see a single illegal alien. And I've been doing this since 1984, even back when I was in Border Patrol. 3 days, a single illegal alien in my sights. It's the most secure border ever, and by doing that, as you said, it's down 95%. How many aliens aren't dying making that journey? How many pounds of fentanyl aren't getting in and killing Americans? How many known suspected terrorists are not crossing that border because the Border Patrol is 100% vigilant on that line, stopping all the entries? It's incredible. Never seen anything like it in my 40-year career.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
It is incredible.
If you enforce the law and enforce the border, you drop it by, I heard 97%, but 95%, whatever it is. It is a remarkable accomplishment. It was done by this president. Didn't take very long either. Just like he said, did not take very long. They're building new parts of the border. They're protecting. And again, he pointed out how many migrants are not dying on the way.
Absolutely. And not only that, but if you have a president that is encouraging the Border Patrol to do their job.
Yeah.
Instead of, like the Biden presidency that were like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. And they're afraid to do anything.
It was worse than that. As you recall, when Texas put in razor wire, Homeland Security came in with front-end loaders and lifted the wire. Remember those pictures of people flooding under the razor wire? That's how much they hated us and wanted to flood the country with illegals that were unvetted, unchecked, and then unleashed on us.
Which is completely scary when you think about it. Who knows? Quite frankly, we have no idea who's here. And these people are very elusive, if it's, terror groups or who knows?
Who knows who
drug
they are.
Cartels.
Human traffickers bringing children
Human
in.
traffickers. Oh, my gosh.
And this administration has found thousands of those children that were lost already, so that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Joe, speaking of border states, is in Texas. Joe, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Ivy.
Good morning.
I wanted to talk to you about what happened. Like I warned you one Friday, and they attacked the next day, that Saturday and Sunday and Monday and the rest of the week, plus the National Guard getting shot. They are going to have another wave of attacks. And I try to tell the police out here, they think I'm nuts. They don't think, nothing's going to happen. They drag their knuckles. So I basically want to know, what can we do to prevent this from happening? Because, the border's, blocked off and everything and all, but we still got over 500 plus a million illegals in this country, and that's not just an estimate. That's a fact.
Right.
Considering we had 4 years, all these people being allowed to come in our country. And I tried to warn you about it. You said not on your watch. Unfortunately, it did. And I wish it wasn't the case, but I'm very concerned and worried about every single American patriot and every American citizen in this country, including myself as well as you and Ivy. Trump really needs to get these people out. Plus, we got these governors and mayors or whatever in these countries, these states that are preventing them from the National Guard to come in here to get them out. And that's harboring fugitives or terrorists and so on that's in their country, their states. I'm sorry.
Well, Joe, it's a good call. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Look, closing the border is step one. Step one. Getting in and rounding up the people. Now, listen, there's been like 1.5 million, 1.7 million that have self-deported. We've thrown 1 million on top of that. We're close to 3 million that have left, but that's just a start. I mean, there's so many here.
It's hard to say how many are. I mean, we've lost track. There's
We
no way
never,
to know.
Never kept track.
Right. Well, especially during the Biden administration.
Yeah, nobody kept track.
But, I think part of it to see something, say something, I cannot tell you how many times just going to the grocery store or doing things. People are so oblivious. Steve and I were driving home the other day, and this woman just walking down the street in Michigan State University campus walks right into a pole because she's on her phone, has no clue of her surroundings. It's just really important. Be aware of what's going on. If something seems strange, report it. We do have to believe in our law enforcement. We have to believe in the FBI and CIA, all these people who are investigating all the time. We have to believe that they're under good leadership and they're working all the time to, thwart any type of
two big things recently.
Us, so.
Two big things recently. Number one, the attack that was planned for outside of Detroit for Halloween, Operation Pumpkin, they were calling it. They were going to attack bars in Ferndale, Michigan, which is just outside Detroit. The FBI stopped that. And then the big bombing attacks that were scheduled for New Year's Eve in Los Angeles, they stopped that. But how many can you stop? How many do you not get to? How many sneak through? It only takes one. And then we end up having something like what happened at Bondi Beach in Australia, right? And you get people slaughtered.
Yeah, and let's just pray that our law enforcement can be on top of that. I mean, let's hope for the best, right?
Be vigilant. And for us, that means carry concealed. If it's legal in your state, I would carry concealed. It's the way it is. I would not possibly...
Learn how to shoot a firearm effectively, get a lot of training, and continue to regularly shoot so you are...
Prepared.
Prepared, yeah.
Yeah, because you never know. You see these attacks on churches, on synagogues, and so you got to be prepared. It is Free Speech, Free for All Friday, brought to you by Patriot Mobile and the Common Sense Hotline. Always specials at patriotmobile.com. Promo code is Gruber, and you will save some money. All right? We're taking calls for the next 2 hours here. So line them up, folks. We'll be right back.
George.
In Iowa. Right?
I thought we just had Dave.
Yeah, we did. No, we didn't have Dave yet. All right, back to it now. By the way, brand new set here. We're just driving it for the first time. Brand new. Designed by Ivy.
Well, actually, I have to give credit to Anthony on this one. I mean, I picked the chairs, but Anthony set up the set. So good for you, Anthony.
Yeah, I got the flag. I thought the flag was nice. Let's go back to the phone lines. We're going to get to this $400,000.
And Brock, are we on Joe here? Or Dave, rather?
Dave in Arizona.
There it is. Dave, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. I hope you guys both are as well.
Yeah, we are. We're blessed. It's been a good Christmas season. Really enjoy it. What's on your mind today?
Well, I wanted to share some non-medical advice with you. This is a protocol that I shared with Admiral Bannon the last couple of years, because I know we shake a lot of hands at America Fest.
Yeah.
I drink tonic water because it helps with zinc absorption. And then I worked with Dr. Zev Zelenko back in 2020. I take his Z-Stack formula, which includes zinc, quercetin, vitamin C and vitamin D. It sounds like you need a regimen of some natural minerals and vitamins, sir.
You're encouraging
yeah.
her. You know how many handfuls of stuff I get?
Oh, Dave, yes, I've been giving him that protocol for several days now. Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. And I would strongly suggest the tonic water because it fosters and encourages zinc absorption, which is amazing.
Yeah, zinc is
So it
did
has
wanna talk
quinine
about-
in it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's correct. Quinine is the active ingredient in tonic water. So if you don't like the taste of it, just cut it 50-50 with cranberry juice, or maybe even throw some vodka in there for you, Steve. Right?
There you go. A little early for that now, but I'll take you out. I'll take you up on that. I greatly appreciate the call. Yeah, it's that time of the year. I did a couple. I'm going to admit it. Did a couple of hot toddies. I don't know if they really work, but they make you feel better.
They sure do.
Yeah.
Not sure about the immune system, but
Yeah, but the honey, the lemon, a little bit of bourbon, boom, makes me feel better. Free speech, free for all Friday, even with laryngitis or whatever this is. We'll be back with your calls after this. Peace. All right, I want to start with the economy here. Liberation Day was what, April 2nd, something like that. The tariffs came all in. And, man, the predictions were, it's doom and gloom. If you just saw the GDP for last quarter was 4.3%, absolutely remarkable. Inflation, 2.7%. Set an all-time record for Black Friday, for Cyber Monday. The Christmas season as a whole is going to set an all-time record for sales and numbers. But I do want to share with you one thing from Elizabeth Warren back in April of this year, saying, it's just doom porn. Doom porn. Listen.
Comes in and basically starts the dumbest trade war in the history of this country. This is going to be about potentially millions of people losing their jobs. It's going to be about millions of people losing their savings, many of people losing their retirement security, and at the same time taking on even higher costs for everything they buy. So that's going to push us in potentially to foreclosures or people being pushed out of their apartments. You know, I remember this from 2008 and how long it took us to dig our way out. And to this day, there are families, there are communities that still haven't recovered. Recessions can be all those fancy charts and graphs, but at the end of the day, people feel them one person at a time, and they can be devastating.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. How much money did they bring in? Something like $40 billion.
In tariffs?
Yeah.
Oh, it was multiples of that.
Okay.
It was hundreds of billions of dollars. And in fact, the deficit got cut by $600 billion. Inflation is down. GDP is up. Real wages are up. Does that mean it's perfect for everybody? No. And when speaking of the economy, I went back and looked at the gas prices. Gas prices were about $2.50 about 3 or 4 days ago. They jumped to $2.99.
Of course, everybody traveling during the holidays.
Yeah, stick it to the man.
I mean, come on.
All right, who we got next?
We have...
Is it George?
George in Iowa.
George in Iowa.
All right, George, you're up next. What's on your mind?
Can you hear me? God bless you,
yeah,
Ivy and Steve. I want to talk about cross-border trucking, truck speed limiters, illegal drivers still in these off-site truck stops, Illinois construction sites that are set up, dangerously set up. God bless you, Steve Gruber Family Show. Over and out.
Thank you, sir. So California was set to lose 20,000 of these CDLs, commercial driver's licenses, for illegal aliens. What's California doing? Suing to keep the illegals on the road.
Doesn't make any sense.
They don't speak English. I mean, we saw that horrible crash in Florida where the guy pulls a U-turn on the interstate.
Where it says no U-turn.
Well, you can't turn a semi around on an interstate.
Right. That's common sense.
And for whatever reason, there seems to be a common link to drivers from India. A lot of these illegal drivers seem to be from India. It doesn't matter. The point of the matter is, I don't want an 80,000-pound missile on the freeway with me, or you, or our family, or anybody we know, or anybody for that matter, who can't speak English. I mean,
Or can't read a road sign, or don't know the laws, particularly in our country. I mean, it's completely ignorant for anyone to allow that. And we also know about that big thing. What was it? Also in Florida, that they were selling CDLs
right out the side
like
door,
under the table. Like, here you go.
You got cash, you got a license. You got cash,
so scary.
You got a license. Yeah, remarkable. Do read that story though.
Okay, so $400,000 in a shipment of lobsters. Live lobsters was hijacked on its way to Costco in Illinois and Minnesota. I'm like, what do you do with $400,000 worth of lobsters? That's a whole lot of lobsters, first of all.
So I saw that story.
Apparently, it's commonplace where these, either live lobsters or other things like this, high value products, are being hijacked.
$15 to $30 billion a year of high value shipments being hijacked, stolen, but live lobsters. That's a hell of a party.
So actually, years ago, I started a seafood wholesaling business in Key West, and we would have lobster boats go out and bring in lobster. Number one purchaser of live lobsters, by the way, in where I was a Chinese gentleman who would ship it. He'd come in, purchase the best lobsters that we had, would ship them overnight to China. All the best things.
Bam.
Gone. I mean, high dollar stuff. But I mean, that was hundreds of pounds, probably thousands of pounds. But I mean, I don't know what $400,000 would equate to, but that's a whole lot of live lobsters.
That's a whole lot of live lobsters.
I do want to say that it's kind of funny that Homeland Security Investigations launched the operation called Operation Boiling Point. Nice play on words there.
Nice.
Homeland Security.
All right, I think Don in Oklahoma, you're next here on a Free for All Friday. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Ivy. Good morning, Steve. You also, Steve. Steve, with all respect, she's your Melania Trump.
Aw,
okay. Here
I
on
can
the
accept
corner,
that.
we recessed the corner. We painted red, white, and blue, and we put a full bait sign, Trump corner. We're identified now as Trump corner. We love God. We love country. I mean, family and country. And in Oklahoma, it was 78 degrees on Christmas.
Wow.
What a beautiful day. Kids, grandkids. We even, at my young 73 years old, had a great-grandchild, a little girl.
Very nice.
Boy, is she pretty like Grandma.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Congratulations.
I just want to go by you. I'm not Cherokee, but the Cherokee Nation had a strong leader in Wilma Mankiller. My father dealt with Cherokees all his life. He's a farmer, dairyman. Anyhow, didn't have a cell phone. You went to their house. Wilma Mankiller began building these fine people homes. It brought up everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. They used their land to build homes. I don't know what the dollars and cents was. Some of them had sweat equity, better than money. Some of them paid, I don't know, whatever they paid. But it worked so well for the Cherokee people. In 5 counties here in Oklahoma, we were raised right in the middle of Cherokee Nation. I have a suggestion to my little buddy Trump. Take some of that federal land, build some of these homes for younger people or just people, Americans. That would work so great. The Cherokee Nation started out with that strong leader. Now they have another strong leader. They're all about business. They're all about their people. This president is all about his people, his country. We all love America. We have 5 successful children and some beautiful grandchildren. They all take after their grandma. None of them listen to anything I say.
Thanks for the call. Greatly appreciate it. There's a lot of truth in that. But there's a difference. What he said is they had sweat equity in it. Mm-hmm. They invested in that community. When you just give people stuff, no value. But if they invest their time and effort, then it's just well done.
I don't know if that's
invested.
100% the case. I think, I see online a lot of folks who are raising money for people who have been homeless a long time. And maybe those people are a bit more grateful and take care of their homes when they had no homes for so long. But
in fact, I'm gonna have
But yes, in many cases, if you just give something to someone, the value isn't as great as if they earned it. Yeah.
I've got a homeless 2025 update from the state of California when we come back on a free speech, free for all Friday, laryngitis included. It's the Steve Gruber Show.
Do you ever
back to it now. Don talked about the homelessness and how the Cherokee Nation was able to overcome that by being involved directly with building houses. Pretty good story, actually, from Oklahoma. But here, Gavin Newsom is in year 16 in California of his 10-year plan to end homelessness. I just want to do a little recap for you so you see how the plans are working in California for the guy that is so enamored with the idea of being your next president. Listen.
What we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homelessness in San Francisco.
How are you going to solve homelessness? What are you going to do as a new mayor? And I say, well, what are you going to do?
Focus on a housing first model, direct access to housing. Shelter, solve sleep, housing with wraparound and support services, solve homelessness. Homelessness absolutely can be solved.
Laid out a detailed homeless strategy. There's been no intentionality on homelessness in this state for decades. It's not been a focus.
I don't think we can solve homelessness. I know we can solve homelessness. We will reduce street homelessness quickly and humanely through emergency action. The highest investment the state's ever made is $1 billion on homelessness. We are poised to pass a budget in the next few hours that will provide $12 billion of investment.
I can literally quantify 58,000 people that we got off the streets last year, and none of you would believe it.
This state has not made progress in the last 2
Enough. It never gets better. Their homeless population is up. They spend billions of dollars. It's a failed policy. It's remarkable to listen to him, though, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Nothing has changed. The homelessness is increasing. The tent cities are enormous.
The drug use.
The drug use.
What do they call that? The fentanyl lean.
Oh my gosh, you just see people who are like almost defying gravity because they're so high. Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to phone lines. We got like everybody from the whole state of Ohio has called us today. Tim is in Ohio. Tim, how are you?
All right, how you doing, Steve?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
This administration is going to be considered as a failure if they don't do something about this treasonous acts that was committed on our country by Biden's administration and these judges. It's going to be a failure. We got to get rid of the deep state. There's no doubt about it.
We got to clean up our act, Tim. There's no question. I agree with you on that.
I would just say that the legal system moves so slow. Extremely slow.
What do we get told? It's a process.
It's a process.
And it's a painful process, generally speaking. But, I saw this online. I don't disagree. Not one major indictment from Pam Bondi. Not one judge impeached. The Milwaukee judge that helped an illegal get out the side door convicted.
Yes,
Other
of a
than
felony,
that, not much to see there. Let's keep in Ohio with Mary. Mary, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I have a bunch of young voters. My son is 21, and I have his friends over often, and I lecture them about voting. And the one question that they keep asking me, and I really don't have an answer, is why these mayors are allowed to tell our president, you can't put the guard in. So now they're asking me, why should we even vote if our president can't do his job? And that's the one answer I have. They don't want to vote in the midterms.
Well, they got to vote in the midterms. Keep motivating.
And that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to get through to these young men, because I got them to vote for president. I said, make your own choice. But the biggest question, we just went to Columbus, women wearing burqas, and I don't have the answer
for the
mayor.
Great call, Mary. Thank you for that. The answer is keep fighting, keep pushing, keep chipping away at it. Yes, the president just lost a Supreme Court deal on Friday, I think, or a couple days ago, about putting the National Guard in Chicago. But here's what they were told. You can put the military troops in there to protect the ICE agents, not the National Guard. I don't want the 82nd Airborne in Chicago. I want the National Guard in there protecting these people. The place is dangerous.
Absolutely. And it is a national issue, though. The president can't just go into any state that he wants to, can he?
Well, he can federalize. It's been done. Done in 1957, done in 1965, done a variety of times. Abraham Lincoln did it.
Absolutely. And I would just impress upon your kids too that all politics is local. So if, start at home, make sure that they're voting in the local, elections as well, because those are just as important in your state
Sure
as
are.
are the federal ones. And yeah, because if you, case in point, if you have a mayor that you've elected that doesn't support the president, well, we should
Start with that.
Start
Yeah.
with that. Exactly.
Let's see, the trifecta out of Ohio. Linda.
Yeah, actually, Linda's in Idaho. I wrote it down wrong. That's my fault.
All
It's
right.
Linda in Idaho.
Linda, how are you today?
I'm just fine, Steve. How are you?
Well, I felt
I know
better.
you're not feeling well.
But I'm slugging it out. All right. What's on your
Oh, good
mind?
for you. I am getting really tired of Congress acting like children. I think they need a serious timeout. I think they all need to be locked in chambers and not let out until every EO is signed into law. Every person that needs to be confirmed is confirmed. The budget is done. The medical issues are all settled. And everything else they're supposed to be doing, just don't let them out until it's done. For
Lock them in the room.
anything.
Lock them in the room. I hear
That's
that a lot.
right.
Thank you for the call. Greatly appreciate it, Linda, Idaho. Look, this is what I come back to. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have felt this way. I think the filibuster has to go because none of this stuff's going to get done. Donald Trump's going to have a temporary presidency because it's all executive orders, which can be overturned by anybody in the future. Even when they realize that they're working, they don't care.
Do you think that they're playing this long game because we're just through the first year of Trump's presidency? We have three more to go. I mean, obviously, the midterms is a concern if you lose power either way or
Right.
lose more of a majority than you have. Maybe they're waiting till the bitter end, and then if they need to pass, destroy the filibuster to put everything through before the end. Maybe that's their plan.
That's a possibility, I suppose. Yeah. Maybe. We'll take a break and be back on a Free Speech, Free for All Friday. Back to it now as we jump in and continue on. We're going to be here for 2 hours today, if the voice survives. If not, Ivy will be here by herself. There you have it. Long-time caller, someone we've heard from on the show many times, Jennifer from Michigan.
Well, good morning. I just want you to know that you and Ivy make a lovely-looking couple.
Thank
you. You complement each other so well. What I'd like to talk about, Steve, is Consumers Power and DTE, how they're bleeding the taxpayers of the state of Michigan. In 2024, the CEO of Consumers Power had an annual salary of over $24,000. What is it? $10 million, $10,400,000. This is 2025, and I bet he's raking in about 25 million. I'm so angry about what's going on. The panel that is supposed to protect the taxpayer and the residents of the state rubber stamps every proposal for an increase that they put through. I'd like to know how much stock they own in DTE and Consumers Energy. The company that also, I believe, owns Consumers and DTE made over $3 billion in profit in 2024.
Yep.
We are being gouged. We have no protection. The governor is rubber stamping them. She thinks they're great. Dana Nessel, much to her credit, is trying to fight it. So
Jennifer,
would you please see what you could find out about this?
Absolutely. Jennifer, God bless you.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas. This is happening all over the country. What happens is these power companies, she's talking about the power companies in Michigan, but it's happening in the Northeast. It happens in California. They all have monopolies.
Yeah.
They all have monopolies, and they control the power and gouge you and gouge me and gouge her. We need competition.
Well, yeah. I mean, the energy prices in Michigan particularly are very, very high. They've increased pretty exponentially within the last, a few years. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with another hour of your phone calls. 877-310-9966. The Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline. I'm going to get some tea. I can do this. I can do this. We'll be back.
Something to make you look around and say, hey, you know what? I live in a pretty great country. President Trump is calm, on point, on his game. And unlike the last guy, he is competent and coherent. Come on, man. We're not bending the knee anymore. We're here to take a stand for God and country.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.
And welcome to it here as it's a special post-Christmas special. My voice, not what it normally is. Ivy with me, of course, here to save the day.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
There you go. We're kind of looking at the year in review. We're taking your phone calls on a Free Speech Free for All Friday as well. And I saw this yesterday, and I'm like, they're not really dumb enough to do this, are they? Are they really dumb enough to do this? Maybe they are. But they want to shut the government down again because they look at the 4.3% GDP on fire, 2.7% inflation, great shape. The economy really starting to hum. The tariffs were supposed to destroy the economy, according to the Democrats. Didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And now, your good friend Jasmine Crockett had this to say.
And they finally voted to reopen the government with a temporary continuing resolution. That resolution will run out on January 31st. Since we've reopened the government, we have not passed one of those 12 appropriations bills. We've not even voted on one of the 12 appropriations bills. So here it is. We went out basically October 1. And after we went out, we didn't get anything done. Here it is. It's now technically 2 months later. Still nothing has been done. So I don't see how we are going to get to the point that we end up in a space in which we reopen the government. That the government does not shut down.
There you have it. They're going to do it again. Can you imagine?
Well, their polling was so terrible after the first one, you would think that they would maybe learn their lesson. But, I mean, I did ask you this question, though. Why is it that, what does the government shutdown have anything to do with the economy, and why would it affect it? I mean, you can still go purchase things. You can still do things. Okay, you can't go to the post office. You can't do.
We've talked about it, but it does. It'll slow down the economy. It'll cool it off because some people are not working. Government cannot keep track of what's happening as far as spending and so forth. Impacts your numbers. The only way to cool off Trump's economy is to stand on top of the people with the government shutdown and try to make it about something like about health care, whatever they make it about. Absolute nonsense.
Ridiculous.
All right, Brock, who's our next caller?
Fred.
Fred in Alabama.
Fred in Alabama, come on down. You're the next contestant.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Miss Ivy. I got a whole lot of things to say, but the only one I'm going to talk to you about this morning is statute of limitations. If we do away with the statute of limitations in this country, you're going to be able to clean up a whole lot of garbage called politicians.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it if you'd use your connections and try to get the word up there to the White House, let them know. And it should include everybody, from dog catchers to former presidents. Something to think about.
Former presidents that appear all over the Epstein files. That sort of former president?
Mm.
Yeah. Good call. What about Bill Clinton? I mean, he is everywhere in these things. You've seen the pictures, right?
I think there is no doubt in anyone's mind that he was a pig. Yes. So who knows what he did? And we may never know what he did. But, I don't hear anybody. Why are we not looking into Clinton about this?
One person, Tim Kaine, who was Hillary Clinton's running mate, the senator from Virginia. He said, why is he in there? We need to ask. John Fetterman, same thing. Yeah, why not ask? So there's at least two decent Democrats saying, why is he in there? Let's go to Georgia. Tom is in Georgia. Tom, how are you?
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Ivy. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I just had a quick question. The voter fraud that we've had up in Fulton County, Georgia. I just wanted to see if you believe anybody's going to go to jail for some of the crimes they committed up there. And obviously it had an impact on the election, but we don't want it to happen again. That's all I have, Steve.
Yeah, we don't want it to happen again. 315,000 votes that were not properly Well, they weren't legal. They weren't signed. There was no chain of
No
custody.
certified, right?
Not signed. The tapes were not signed, which means John Ossoff was never elected as a senator in Georgia, number one. Number two, Donald Trump won Georgia for sure. We know that. And so
But Steve, there's no cheating in elections.
Ivy, of course there's not. It's pure as the driven snow. Fact of the matter is, when it comes to election fraud and gerrymandering, one party has set the standard on how to get those things done.
You know, I would say this, though, whatever happened when Biden was elected, I think it was actually, I don't want to say it was a blessing, but for Trump to be able to have that amount of time to then be able to plan and then execute the plan when he was reelected. Now, all the things that happened during that time were awful for the American, economy and immigration and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now everything, all of the crime and corruption and needless spending and getting immigration under control and the economy is on fire. I just don't know that if Trump had been reelected a second term, if it would be as outstanding. Now, he was a great president before, and he's a continuing great president now, but he learned and then he stewed.
And he stewed. He certainly did. Yeah, there's no question. He stewed and he learned and he got it figured out.
Yeah.
All right, help me out, Brock. Who's next?
Oh, let's see here. Bob in Pennsylvania.
There you go. Bob, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just clear as day.
Yep. Good morning, Steve, Ivy. So much to comment on, but I'm going to comment on something I haven't heard much of. Trump's bringing all the manufacturing back, which is awesome. But I live in small town, rural America.
Yep.
We had a lot of small manufacturing 20, 30 years ago. Our small town had 2 manufacturing, and they left when everything went offshore. With Trump bringing everything back, how about some kind of incentives to bring small to medium-sized manufacturing back to rural? Because, yes, he's bringing them back to the major population centers, but we're left high and dry here. We've lost our agriculture. I'm in the middle of Marcellus Shale, so unless you want to work for a gas company,
not much else out there. Let me answer the question before we run out of time here. Look, Ross Perot was right about NAFTA. That great big sucking sound you hear is jobs going to Mexico. Boy, was he right. But the jobs went to China, to Mexico, and everywhere. He's right. The small manufacturers. India, all over the world except here. And you're right. Trump's bringing the jobs back to the big places, but one step at a time. It would be my advice would be give him time, because I think the economy by July 4th is going to be a much better situation.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. All right, 877-310-9966. That's the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline. We'll take more calls for the rest of the hour here. Be somebody. Be heard. We'll be back. Well, I hope you had a good Christmas. Mine was, doing the Barry White voice.
Hey, I loved it.
You like this?
Here's your new next present, Ivy.
Yeah. Here's another present. We had a great morning, though.
We did.
We did. It was fabulous. Hope you guys did, too.
What were you guys' favorite gifts that you got?
What was your favorite gift?
I really like the Carhartt jacket that I got. I did.
Oh, yeah.
Really like that a lot.
I really like my new cutting boards.
Yeah.
They are absolutely gorgeous. We eliminated all of our plastic cutting boards.
Getting rid of all that junk.
Yeah.
Trying to eliminate
And
plastic
Steve
from our
found
lives.
some really incredibly gorgeous wood. Looks like walnut and I don't know. Do you know what the
woods
woods
are? It's a special kind
are?
of maple. I can't even tell you. That's got this great texture.
It's
So
gorgeous.
here's what I did. I went onto Facebook Marketplace and I found guys that are making cutting boards at home, custom built stuff. Didn't go to the big retailers. Went and bought stuff from guys' pole barns. Fabulous.
Gorgeous.
That's helping out the economy on the local level, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All
I
right.
love that.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. It's 877-310-9966. Powered by Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com. Promo code Gruber. You'll save yourself some money right now. Tony is in Missouri. Tony, how are you?
Hi, how are you? How's
Lovely.
it going, Ivy?
I'm great. Thank you. Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
I have 2 comments and 1 question. My first comment is why don't they codify into law some of those bills that they've made so that when, if the Democrats take over, all of those laws at least would be exist. You know what I mean? They would be codified already.
We should do that. That's why I say the filibuster has to go. But it hasn't. Because, these Republicans, let's be honest, a lot of these Republicans hate Trump. They're just riding it out. They're just trying to run out the clock on him. That's my belief.
Well, I mean, but a lot of these are coming in, right? Like
Some of them.
2026.
Right. The tax cuts, there's going to be massive tax cuts coming through, which is pretty important.
Which are permanent.
Right. Which is good for everybody. $20,000 refunds coming, Tony, for some folks. But you're right. A lot of this has to be codified. Otherwise, it's a temporary presidency. And if the Republicans do not control that, they're going to control the Senate. I'm not worried about the Senate going to the Democrats. But the House in Democrat hands will just mean impeachment and nonsense and carrying on. Anyhow, thank you for the call.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
My really big question is every day here in South Missouri, we see the chemtrails. And we always say, does everybody know what's going on with these chemtrails? I mean, they tic-tac-toe up our skies, and then within hours, 4 hours, one day, the skies are extremely cloudy or low fog, or you can see this mist in the air. I do feel my throat gets scratchy, my eyes are acting, different.
My answer never changes, and I appreciate the question, but I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time on it because there's all these other big things that we talk about. I read about it some. I look into it some. Don't know what it is. Cloud seeding's been a thing since the 1930s and 40s. I don't know is my answer. I don't think either one of us know.
No.
Kim, you're in Florida. How's Florida today?
Cloudy.
Okay.
Cloudy. What the lady just said about they spray and then they're literally dimming the sun. I've felt it for years, but people are like, "Oh, you're crazy, conspiracy." It's really happening. I post. I called my congressman. I mean, what are we supposed to do? We're being sprayed like bugs. And then...
Well, I don't know.
Okay, what I would like to tell everybody, if you could, maybe it does help if enough of us call or write, but Bill Blaster that the War Room put out, if you get that app, it brings you every congressman. I used to call Nancy Pelosi and tell her to get to work when Trump was in. But it gives you every number, their direct number, their email, Bill Blaster app.
There you go.
What it is.
Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's go to Ken in Arkansas. We're trying to get through as many calls as we can today. Get you heard. We do this every Friday on the program. In the spirit of Rush Limbaugh's Open Line Fridays, that's why we do it. Ken, how are you?
Very good, sir. Merry Christmas to you and Ivy.
Thank you.
Sir, we need some help with your influence with the president. This $1,776 is supposed to be siphoned from our government coffers to go to the veterans. Needs to happen immediately.
I think it actually has, yeah.
Active military, not
It
veterans,
has to happen
active military.
now.
It's going to be active military.
Active military. You speak to a lot of military officers. You don't speak to very many enlisted or NCOs, and they need that money, and they need it now.
Absolutely. And Anthony, can you play that bite too for me?
This is not fair that we're having elected officials that are sent there for decades and decades, like Nancy Pelosi, who are making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah. All right.
And living off of the freedom that we are giving them, active duty. Merry Christmas, because they're on the coast. They're on ships. They're overseas. They're away from their families.
All true.
And they need that $1,776 yesterday.
Yeah, I believe that they have received it.
Yesterday.
I think it's going out, Ken. Great call. Go ahead. You want to run that bite?
Yes, Anthony, go ahead and run that.
1776, right? $1,776. And, in case you're not aware of it, it's tax-free. You don't have to pay tax. In other words, you don't have to send half of it back to the government 15 minutes after you get it. You don't have to send anything back. So that's 1776. It's tax-free. And we've distributed just about all of it in time for Christmas.
There it is.
And you've earned it. Nobody else.
It went out. You're exactly right. The money went out. And it's good for them, right?
Absolutely, yes. And they should be getting this. We're incredibly blessed to have those of, service members
doing
very
their job.
Appreciative of them.
All right, take a break. We'll have more of your phone calls in a moment here on the Steve Gruber Show. All right, roaring through it as best we can here, getting as many calls as we can, and we appreciate the good wishes. We wish you a Merry Christmas, of course. Jenny is in Wisconsin. Jenny, how are you today?
I'm absolutely thankful that I could get on this line. I live in way up north, near Superior, Lake Superior.
Right.
And we're we're a lumber company up here. So, number one, I want to be thankful for this station and for you, all you people on the RAV station, because it's the only station that has Christianity going for us. And the small town that I have, we got three churches, a Catholic church, a Lutheran church, and a Pentecostal church. But anyhow, my question, I appreciated Tony's remark because she said exactly what I want to say. When do we get these things codified so that it could get into action? And when are the rhinos going to get off their asses? Excuse me, I shouldn't have said that. But
that's all right.
Get off their seats and start doing something. This president, he is the best thing that ever came along, and his staff. I mean, it's just wonderful, and I'm thankful for it. But we cannot let up. We have to keep going. We have to keep pushing. and supporting him and all that he does. And I appreciate your station. This is the first time I didn't. I got up at 3:00 this morning, couldn't back to sleep, and I turned on your station. And I'm so thankful that you're there.
Well, I appreciate you.
We can put our voices.
Yeah,
And Merry Christmas to you, and have a blessed New Year. So
Merry Christmas to you. We greatly appreciate it, Jenny, up there in northern Wisconsin. Beautiful country, by the way, up there. Great fishing. You'd like that.
Oh, yes. Great fishing. Beautiful place.
I'd like you to
Jenny.
support the people that support this program, including Great Lakes Pet Food. If you're looking for high-quality pet food made in America, Ivy and I went looking for pet food made in America here a few years ago. We found one made in Western Michigan. It is wonderful. GreatLakesPetFood.com. It's real pork, real chicken, real turkey. Your dogs are going to love it. Our dogs have been eating this dog food for years now. Never been healthier, never been better. GreatLakesPetFood.com. Support the people that make this program possible. Thank you. Merry Christmas. We'll be right back. All right, got some breaking news here that the president just announced. There's been major attacks on ISIS in Nigeria by the United States Armed Forces. I don't have a lot of details yet. He called it powerful and deadly, and will be many more. He warned ISIS in Nigeria, if you keep killing Christians, we're coming after you. Man of his word.
Thank the Lord, because, man, we've been reading and seeing many videos about just Christians being slaughtered. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that he has taken some action to do
Pushing
something
back.
about it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
He should do something about Lebanon, but Lebanon
as well, yeah.
Yeah, but we've been told Lebanon has no, financial value, so the Christians there are being marginalized, which is too bad. But just announced Nigeria strikes by the United States on ISIS. All right, let's go back to the phones. We've got Randy in Missouri. Randy, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm a little upset though. Trump been behind Trump all the way. First part of the week. I'm 72 years old. I got my notice from Social Security on what my raise is this coming year. 2.8%. I couldn't even take my family to McDonald's on that raise. It's pitiful. I'm afraid he's probably going to lose a bunch of votes on this move.
What do you think it should be?
And what has it been historically?
It should be along with the cost of living. The people got big raises on their minimum wage. Well, we didn't see none of that. The old people didn't. We didn't get nothing. I got a lot bigger raise last year than this year. 2.8 on $1,000. That's $20.
Yeah.
Or $28.
Right, not much.
So I know people that only get $700 a month. But I'm not in that shape because I've worked all my life.
But still,
But if it wasn't for my pension and he knocked the unions, if it wasn't for, I was a union roofer, worked hard all my life.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for my pension from the union, I don't know how I'd survive.
Well, good call, Randy. Thank you for that. Ivy just handed me this.
And did he say 2.8%? That's
right.
accurate, right?
2.8%, 2.5% in 25, 3.2% in 24. Of course, back in 23, there was an 8.7% increase because Biden's inflation was out of control and they had totally screwed up the economy. It's tough, and that brings me back to this whole thing about property taxes. People that are on fixed incomes, and they get a little 2.8% increase, yet their property tax might go up 5% or 8% or 10%. That's why there's a big fight to get rid of property tax in this country, because people on fixed incomes, like Randy, pay for their house, and then the government puts this hammer over your head. You got to pay the increase in taxes or you lose your house. I'm totally opposed to property tax, especially for people on fixed incomes. Let's go to Alan in Minnesota. Alan, how are you today?
I'm well, and I start with get well wishes for you guys and your family.
Thank you.
Oh, she's healthy. I'm a little puny today. That's all right.
Well, my grandkids have it too, and it's kind of sad, but I think it's beatable. I want to talk about Alejandro Mayorkas today. We all know John Brennan is getting cornered, by District of Florida. My question is, and I'm not anti-Pam Bondi, but I want to know what's going on with the Mayorkas thing, and at the very least, couldn't they come out and say, okay, well, we're not indicting, but there is an investigation at least?
It would be helpful. Mayorkas sat there and lied to everybody over and over, and nothing we can do about it. We need immigration reform. Nothing we can do. Look, we all saw the front-end loaders lifting up the razor wire and flooding the people. We just talked about that in the last hour. Obviously, the border can be fixed.
Absolutely. And who is it?
Well,
Comer?
I think that's criminal, number one, and at least have somebody come out to the microphone and say, okay, well, we're looking into the Mayorkas thing because he didn't get a pardon along with Brennan. At least they're moving in on him, but you never hear about Alejandro.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you for the phone call. It's a good one. You started to say...
Yeah, that Representative James Comer, he's investigating a lot of this. And you don't hear about it a lot unless you're, watching C-SPAN regularly, but he's doing a great job and doing a lot of different investigations. So we're going to continue to see what comes out of that. But, I think a lot of people are just waiting to see some sort of indictments.
People held accountable.
And people held accountable. And we're just, yeah, you can hold all of these meetings that you want in Congress, but how is it actually holding people accountable? Okay, they answer these questions. Majority of people have no idea what's going on. A little bit of information gets out, and then nothing happens. And then people get really upset about this, and I agree.
Yeah,
there needs to be accountability, because if they're not accountable at that high level, then
Right. We need to be able to hold people accountable. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
And Brennan is going to be indicted. He's been told he's a focus of an investigation. He's going to be indicted in Florida. It's almost inevitable. But then again, do you get an activist judge that shuts it down? We have too much of that, too.
Absolutely. Completely agree. Yeah, they just throw it out. Oh, nothing to see here.
Yeah. Let's go to John. He's in Cincinnati, Ohio. John, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. What's on your mind?
I just want to comment about the new name of MS Now.
Yeah.
I like that, because if you move the S over one spot to the right, you have M Snow, which stands for the massive snow job they are. Fake news, misrepresentation, and outright lies.
Well, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much. CNN is about to get gutted.
Mm-hmm.
CNN is going to be sold, and then it's going to be all those people on the air there. They're going to be gone. There's going to be a big change there. You've seen a change at CBS with Barry Weiss now in charge. Their attitude has changed. A lot of these networks are realizing, look, we've been feeding you garbage all this time, and they're cleaning up their act. There's a change in media, and with Donald Trump suing CBS, NBC, the BBC, it has changed their
Rightfully
attitude.
so. I mean, the BBC cutting out specific words during the January 6th speech to make it seem like he was actually inciting violence when he was not. That is wrong. I mean, that is against everything as a journalist. It is not truth at all. I do love Scott Jennings over there at CNN. He does an incredible, masterful job at just putting those folks in their place. Actually, I want to play Bite 12 here for you, because this is how much I like Scott Jennings. Let's play that, Anthony.
Many of them, she made them really angry, but at the end of the day, there was often grudging respect for some of the skills that she brought to the table.
Oh yeah, there were people who respected her legislative ability and being a political boss. I mean, she was the boss of her conference.
Nancy D'Alessandro.
And there is for political operators a lot of respect for that. I tell you this, I don't know how much we raised over the years off of sending out fundraising appeals based on Nancy Pelosi, but it was a metric butt ton. I'm telling you right now, putting Nancy Pelosi in fundraising mail or fundraising emails would always produce. And by the way, it's not often that someone can become a titan of both Washington and Wall Street. Republicans will remember her as one of the most successful and prolific day traders. She beat the S&P 500 by 559% in her stock portfolio.
And in fact,
she's worth a lot of money. She did it in
Jennings goes on and says she should be in charge of Social Security. You get a lot more than 2.8% if she was in charge. We'll be right back. All right, diving back into it as we wrap out this 2025, and we do it with you. And I got to say, we really appreciate you being here with us all year. We continue to grow. Our audience grows here on Real America's Voice for this program. Of course, Ivy's become an integral part of the program this year, which I appreciate.
Well, I mean, I've always kind of been the behind-the-scenes gal until you kind of shoved me out in front of the camera. Trying to do my best.
Very uncomfortable for you at first.
Yes, it was.
And now?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah, always room for improvement.
You always got things to offer, and that's important. All right, let's stay with
you
the phone
have
lines.
The Ivy watch. You got to have the Ivy watch.
And now
Come on, I'm telling you.
She went and bought super comfy chairs so that she could be on screen more.
Yeah, there you go. Well done. All right, Pat is in West Virginia. Pat, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve Gruber. And I have the question of why can't they make a law that nobody can vote during a government shutdown, federal and state level? Because you seen what happened the last time, what they squeezed in when the government was shut down. And I think that's what they have in mind in January. And Trump's been one step ahead of them. I hope he stays one step ahead of them because they are just outrageous trying to ruin our country.
I don't disagree, Pat. Good call. I hope they can avoid the government shutdown. They're trying to slow down the economy. It's all the Democrats have because the economy is blowing away expectations everywhere. And you get 6 months on the look. Record-setting spending. Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Oh, man. I was out shopping. I went over to Bass Pro Shops, not too far from where we live, and a couple other different malls, and it was insane.
Pandemonium.
I had never seen it that busy. And we've lived here for 12 years. So it didn't seem that the economy was doing too bad to me.
Yeah. Places packed. The lines are long. Same thing for me. All right. Let's see how it is in Texas with Gordon today. Gordon, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Stephen Ivy. Thank you for doing this. This means a lot to have people be able to field their questions.
It's good to be heard.
I'm going to make a quick comment. I'm going to make a quick comment before I ask my question. So I've listened to a lot of these callers, and gosh, everybody is almost just exactly on point, from everything from the Social Security to Mayorkas. So I'm just hoping somebody from the Trump administration is listening,
sure,
to take these issues. Okay, so down to my question. Sorry about that. There is a program called Title 4D and Title 4E of the Social Security Act. Have you two ever heard of it?
I have not. Explain.
Okay, let me unravel the bag of snakes. It is an incentivized program that the government uses for the states to collect child support.
Yeah.
And and I know this is a touchy subject, but the reality is that in that scenario, when a father, particularly fathers, they're the majority of the people that lose custody, go into these family courts, they spend everything they have just to maintain their relationships with their kids.
Yep.
That is currently not happening in America. It hasn't been happening for decades. This is something that was enacted by Gerald R. Ford. There's plenty of information out there. And we have I guess this causes, or is one of the causes of the fatherless crisis,
which we talked about in this program for a dozen years. We need more dads in America, Gordon. You're exactly right. Go on real quick.
You will not get there unless you reform those programs, because the states shouldn't be incentivized to collect that. That should be pushed down to the states, not the federal government, incentivizing them and pushing literally billions of dollars per state. Ken Paxton bragged of how many, I think it was $12 to 1 that he collected of child support. Why does he need that?
I don't know, but he's going to be Pretty sure he's leading in the polls and probably going to be a senator from Texas. Got to leave it there, Gordon. Look, not enough dads in America. We talk about this a lot. We need strong parents.
Mm-hmm. Coming from someone who doesn't know their biological father, never has, don't even know who the person is, it is so imperative because first of all, men are the head of the household. You look up, they're the head figure. You look up to them. They're the disciplinarians. They draw the lines in the sand. No, this is not acceptable for anyone else in the household. And we're just missing that in America today, and it is so unfortunate. So yes, bringing back the nuclear family is so important if we want to have a successful country.
That's
in my opinion.
true. When parents, moms and dads have different roles, and that's nothing against single moms that are doing their best or single dads that are doing their best. You need both. You need two parents in the household whenever possible. Great call, Gordon. Edward in Missouri, how are you today?
How you doing, Steve?
Doing good. What's on your mind?
I was wondering, man, when Trump got elected last November, it's the golden age. I'm wondering why all the Republicans are jumping ship. Why are all the Republicans leaving Congress, man? It's supposed to be the golden age. They don't want to see this thing through with Trump or what?
This is normal. Actually, I looked this up. Thank you for the phone call. I'll explain to you. Every time there is whoever's in the White House, Democrat or Republican, because this was asked of Trump, why so many Republicans leaving? Actually, it's below average for a party that's in power in the White House. It's like 30 members or 25, whatever it is. It's below average. Joe Biden's midterm had almost 40 Democrats retire. So before you get too concerned about it, don't worry about it. It's normal.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it's normal. And usually there's I don't know, 18 Democrats leaving as well. So don't sweat it. It's all right. You'll get more Republicans back to replace the Republicans that are leaving. And look, as far as I'm concerned, we could use some new faces. All right? More of your phone calls after the break. All right, here's something for you. A new study by Korean doctors claimed that COVID vaccines raise the risk of 6 cancers, including lung, breast, and prostate. Researchers analyzed health records of more than 8.4 million adults between the years 2021 and 2023. Their findings published in Biomarker Research. Critics dismiss it, but the data raises concerns that spike protein exposure may be tied to long-term health risks. Maybe that's my problem today. Dr. Peter McCullough has been aware of this since 2020, which is why he collaborated with the wellness company to create the ultimate spike detox. We actually take it. Designed to help your body clear spike proteins, reduce inflammation, support heart health with natural ingredients like nacokinase, dandelion root, bromelain. I don't know how you say that.
Endokinase.
That's what I said, nanokinase. It's your daily proactive defense from a man-made virus. Don't wait until symptoms strike or something unexpected happens. Experience the only formula approved by Dr. Peter McCullough. TWC.health/Gruber, TWC.health/Gruber. If you use the promo code Gruber, you're going to save 10%, and we do take this product. All right, let's get to Bernie, Oklahoma City. Bernie, how are you? Bernie, how are you? All right. We're going to go on to Carol in Idaho. Carol, how are you today? Well then, I'm over 2. How about John in Texas? Last shot. John, how are you?
Good. Hi, is this Steve?
It is. We got about 20 seconds. Don't have much time, but what do you got for me?
Okay, Social Security. First of all, Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you.
Social Security, you said where should it be? Minimum should be $1,800 a month, ideally $2,400. I have good experience. My wife and I are both on Social Security disability. But the biggest thing is Trump promised us $3,500, 4 quarterly payments for 1 year. And that got taken out of the big, beautiful bill. We need that back in 2026.
John, good call. Thank you for rounding it out for us. For all of you here, look, we appreciate them.
We do. We appreciate all of you, and we love hearing what you have to say, being able to call into us.
Yeah. Have a conversation with America. We do it every Friday here.
Yeah.
Ivy, thank you. I'm going to go limp back to
have some soup and get back into bed.
Absolutely. Appreciate you folks. God bless America. Love you.
Love you.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.